Welcome back to the Clubhouse, and for those of you just joining us, welcome to the Tribe. We are a group of FSU alumni obsessed with the culture, the gear, and the game of golf. From breaking down tour news to roasting our own weekend blow-ups, no topic is out of bounds. Grab a drink and settle in. This is the Tea Time Tribe. Welcome back to the Tea Time Tribe. We just finished up the Cognizant Classic down in Palm Beach, and this week we have the third signature event of the season, the Arnold Palmer Invitational, which we'll get to a little bit later in this episode. First things first, me and John, us Northerners, finally had our first round of the 2026 season. John got us out there with his buddy at Richmond Country Club. It was just nice to get out on the course.
Yeah, it's nice to not, I know it's been a few weeks since the snow's melted and all that, but it was still nice to see a course not under ice and snow. Big thanks to Andrew for having us out. It was a wonderful Chamber of Commerce day for the first day of March. 60s, sunny, not much wind. The golf could have been better, but the company was good. And it was just good to get some vitamin D on the skin.
We still understand that I do, in fact, suck at putting. I would say there was a slight glimmer of hope for those first 7 holes, and then it went downhill very fast.
There was a lot of good, and yes, funny that on the 8th hole, that was very much a downhill putt from 5 feet and then having 5 feet back. I didn't want to say anything. It was a good run, but you also kind of got it back together later in the round and didn't let it go completely off the rails. So overall, I think especially considering it's your first round of the year, you got to be pretty happy with the way you played. Yeah, it could have been a little better, but it could have been a lot worse too.
Could have been a lot worse. I mean,
first time playing that course. Yeah, I mean, there's just, I think overall you did well.
The biggest thing for me, I think I only took the driver out like 3 times. So that's always been key to me, to just keep the ball in play off the tee.
Hey, it's going to change soon though. You're going to be using that new driver all the time.
Can't wait.
Maybe you should use the driver to putt with. I mean, this is a pretty nice driver, Maybe that's what you've been doing wrong this whole time. You've been trying to use putters when in reality, it's just a figment of your imagination. Anything is a putter if you try hard.
That's true. And if it goes south very quickly, I can just say, look, I'm putting with the driver. What do you expect?
Yeah. There you go.
Maybe that's the new piece of content. Play a hole with me and it's just driver. That's it. That's it.
440-yard par 4. First shot, driver. Second shot, driver. Out of the bunker, driver.
Dude, I've seen it's pretty fun watching some of those YouTubers. They do play like driver only holes. It's pretty interesting. Sometimes they end up in the bunker, and I'll have to send a clip. I forget who did it recently. Someone pretty famous did it on his own. It was pretty cool. So just saying, maybe it's an event later this year. Eric versus driver and versus hole.
Ian might be onto something there.
We gotta try anything.
You played this weekend?
I did, and I played like shit, but I won my match. That's what matters. Yeah, I played on Sunday in the men's group. Early tee time, 7:30 tee time. I know it's not super early, but it is pretty early. Yeah, played with Pops and had some. They play $40 buy-ins, and it's front, back, overall, and trash. And trash is like if you get an up and down out of the sand, it's trash. If you make a par net birdie, it's trash. If you make a gross birdie, it's trash. So basically, at greenies. So, and you just add them all up at the end, and whoever has more points on whoever team has the most points, you win that last bet. But yeah, we raked it in, man. We won 3 out of the 4 bets. Made $30. Can't complain.
How many guys play?
This week it was only like 8 guys total, but normally they have a group of like 24, anywhere between like 15 to 30 guys play.
Nice. So a wide range of could be nice. Handicaps.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, shit. I was the worst in the group at a 12. I popped on almost every single hole because there was. One of the guys is basically a scratch golfer. And he wasn't on my team, nor do they adjust like that. So it's all based off your own handicap.
Nice. Okay. Green is green.
Green is green, baby.
Do you listen to yourself?
See, we say that though, but Eric, I don't think you understand.
Listen, this is a golf
concept,
podcast.
Okay.
Okay,
No. This
We
is
give
a
out
golf
picks.
and gambling podcast. Yes. And
Look,
we need to talk about your problem.
Hypocrite.
I think most people
Hypocrite.
would agree with me. I think most people, you put in a bet, you want to see it through.
You can see it through to the point that you make money. Yes.
Yes, but I want to make all the money.
Eric, your parlays look like a Jeopardy board, dude.
That's fine. Aren't all parlays like a Jeopardy board, though?
No,
they don't have to be.
They can have two legs just like a human.
What? John, what do we rake him in at? He was at 30x at one point for a buyout.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And you chose not to take the buyout.
It was a $5 bet.
Damn it.
It was a 7-leg parlay for college basketball. And I needed Arkansas to not lose by 10 or more to Florida at Florida. And I had a $150 cash out offer. But if it hit, I would have won $450.
It wasn't going to hit. Everyone, I screamed at you that it wasn't going to hit.
It wasn't going to hit.
I told you what was going to happen exactly, and exactly that happened.
You know what? I stand by my decision.
From now on, we're looking at starting this weekend. I don't know what your plays. I guess you had some plays yesterday, but you gave up $150 on Saturday. That would have been green. All right, so we're going to have a running tally of bets that you present to us in cash outs, and I'm going to run a tally, and at the end of the year, we're going to see how many thousands of dollars. Oh, I mean, that you just said.
It just takes one, John.
Yeah.
No, but here's the thing. No, there's not just one. It doesn't just take one. If you hit on every single one a little bit, that equals the big one. And there's this thing called risk to reward ratio, right? And the risk can come down if you claim the reward. But if you never claim the reward, you never
Because here's the thing, you talked about this yesterday. You said, hey, the winnings can go towards future bets. And at that point, when you win a bet like that, you can put in a random 5-legger that you don't even look at. Don't even look at the cash out. You put 1 or 2 of those in.
Snaps for John. That's
what we got to look at.
That.
Right? You did say that yesterday.
You did. Take your own advice.
For 10 seconds, you were starting to make sense.
I won't ever take my own advice.
Someday,
I can.
When your kids get old enough, I'm going to replay this to them. And I'm going to say, look, anytime your dad tells you to do anything, just play this back for him, okay?
I can safely say, in this regards, I don't practice what I preach.
It's the mark of that's a mark of a man right there.
Mark of a true man. The true man.
High character,
America.
High character. They just had the NFL draft or the NFL combine where they do interviews and all of that, and they talk about red flag, green flag. You're not getting drafted, buddy. You're an undrafted free agent if you're lucky with an attitude like that. I don't practice what I preach. You went from day 2, day 3 to undrafted like that. Just like your bets, they go from being a winner to nothing.
Yeah, and it just makes the payoff that much sweeter when it actually hits and might become a millionaire.
Look, here's the thing, E. This is the only time of year that your bets normally hit. So
fair.
I need you to actually cash in on this time of year so that you can make what's called a bankroll. And then that bankroll could go towards other bets.
I think what needed to happen is I needed one of you guys to literally be there and push the cash out for me because I can't get myself to do it.
I'll do it. I'll do it. On the Outer Banks trip, I will literally take your phone and I'll hit cash out.
Okay.
Yeah. We had to do it. I think that
you best hide your phone
in Carolina.
Because I'm coming for it.
There's going to be a clip of Ian just chasing me in a golf cart.
Get back here. Give me your phone, damn it. It's zero context.
You can cash that out and then instantaneously you can make another one of your $5 Jeopardy board bets. Another one with the winnings. Like, this is how these things work. It's instantaneous, Eric.
We need an app that you can connect to your sports book so an issue like this doesn't happen. So your friends can take the cash out offer for you.
I kind of like that.
You need like a sponsor for cash out offers.
Yeah, Gamblers Anonymous. And it's, okay. And it can only go into your place bets. It can't go into your actual account and place bets for you because that would be real nasty.
You know what you call that? You call that a slush account. You believe it in the slush account. And then if your slush accounts, here's the problem. If your slush account goes dry, you have a problem. But I think that could incentivize you to make sure that you cash out every now and then.
Keep the slush fund going. Yes.
Yeah.
Now
Although,
we're getting somewhere.
to be fair, John, so I did say that $150 could have been used for future bets, like for the conference tournaments and March Madness. Immediately after that, I also said, but we still have a week and a half left of the college basketball season. So I don't know if it would have made it to said conference championship weekend.
You would have made $35 Jeopardy board bets between now. That's like 5 a day, dude. 7 legs. You're finding 35 legs to play on.
What if I felt I needed to put in like an 8-leg $30 parlay to win a couple thousand?
I think you need an accountability buddy. That's what you need. An accountability buddy that anytime you put in a bet, you have to notify someone of the bet, and they say, okay, Eric, this is interesting. And they just tell you how much you've lost year to date.
Yeah, or
it's not that much.
Yeah.
This would never happen. Inside these gambling apps, there's no way like a DraftKings or FanDuel would allow this to happen. So we had to put it in writing in the group text. So it's in writing, so you're held accountable. But you need to find like a number where you would cash out at. So if it's like a $5 bet, that's like $450. If it gets to 200, I'm cashing it no matter what.
I did say 200 would be my number. Never got there.
You may have said that, but that's still
right,
you're still an idiot. But we
gotta move on. We gotta move on. We gotta move on.
I hope that this was. I
could go down this train. I could go down this rabbit hole forever. And honestly, I know it's not going to go anywhere. So
I hope this was
We gotta just go.
I hope this was semi-therapeutic for you, Eric. But I'm not holding my breath.
I probably wouldn't hold your breath.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, I was getting to the point of saying green is green, except for our tribe bet still is not green.
It was closer to green this week.
It was very close.
Closer.
You had Brooks that finished top 10 at T9, and then Berger and Lee both finished T32, which I think, what did Lee shoot, like a 66 or something like that on Sunday? He started climbing up there pretty quickly.
He needed 64. So I said on Saturday, 64? He needed 64. Yeah, that's what he needed. He didn't get it. He probably would have been, I don't know what the top 20 line was, but
two more strokes. Was 8 under. So him and Berger both needed 2 more.
Yeah, 64 we got him there. Oh well. Close, no cigar.
I don't understand how a guy like Shane Lowry goes that low, and as Daniel Berger, how do you not keep pace? I just don't get it. I don't get it. You're supposed to be. His strokes gained on putting was horrible, and that's like supposed to be his strength. It's supposed to be his strong suit. Yeah, Berger, and I don't know. I don't know what to say.
I mean, he never really got it going. His rounds were 67, 71, 71, 69, so he never played well, but enough to kind of keep in the running there a little bit.
Yeah,
pulling up his stats.
I mean, it's safe to say though, out of the entire weekend, that swing that Lowry made on 16T,
seen it,
was
done it.
Relatable.
Yeah, been there, done that. Yeah, that was you talk about somebody. He was was he the favorite going into the week? I feel like he was.
He was.
And it looked like it was going to be another first time where this Smotherman kid, who I'd never heard of before, turned the club up. He started fading on the weekend, which a lot of young golfers do. Understandable. So Lowry, kind of takes the reins, and then the finish there, as Ian, you talked about in the group text. Water ball, bad swings here and there. Nico, I'm not even going to try.
It wasn't just here and there, though. This was on what you had called out number. It was either you or Eric called out number. Did you guys see his number 6 when he topped it 100 yards?
Oh, that was 6. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
I did see that one.
Yeah, that was a third of the way through his round, and he topped a ball. When was the last time you saw a PGA Tour player in the lead on Sunday top a ball 100 yards? That just shouldn't.
Me, but I'm not a PGA Tour player. I'm not winning anything. Number 3, Richmond Country Club. 7-iron, right side of the fairway. This is what I get. This is what I get for playing it safe. I'm not hitting my 3-wood and trying to go for the green.
Dude, he did the same shit. And then
golf is the worst.
What was it, number 15 or 16? He hit iron as well, to quote, play it safe. And he pushed it 30 yards right into the water. That was like, what are you doing? What are you doing, man?
It's the worst.
These are supposed to be whatever shots you got to hit, you're leading by 3 strokes. You dropped 5 strokes in the last 4 holes. That just shouldn't happen. Your best friend's Rory McIlroy. What the fuck?
Yeah, he made double on 16, double on 17.
Insano.
Well, I think for me it was after the round, whether it was at press conference or he was just talking to a reporter after, he said like he wanted to win in front of his 4-year-old. So I'm sure that weighed on him a lot to actually have your kid there to hopefully see, and thoughts probably got in his mind of just play it safe, get in, make some pars, and you're good. That's when you make that kind of swing.
Yeah, that's tough. That's real tough.
And they had whatever type of, and the announcers were talking about the day before how they were, he shot 63 on Saturday, and he's like, I don't know, wife's got something planned. Probably won't be laying down anytime soon though. Be on my feet. Like, what the fuck, man? Go get some rest. If that's what you need, don't like you're in contention to win a professional golf tournament. Why are you acting like your wife's not going to let you sit down for the rest of the evening? If that's what you need to recover, dude, Justin Rose has a dedicated tour bus to recovery. You do what you got to do, man. Like, and she's been your wife forever, man. So I don't understand why, like, she knows what the deal is. So maybe that's the problem. Maybe that's it. Maybe his wife is just distracting him every Saturday night that he's in contention for a tournament. I don't know.
We just did gambling therapy with Eric,
crazy.
and now we're doing couples therapy with Ian and Shane Lowry's marriage. This was not on the outline tonight, folks, by the way. The gambling part was pretty easy for Eric to get there. This part, I did.
100%.
This one's all on Ian. So anyway, continue, counselor.
That's all I have to say.
No, that's all I got to say.
Well, I was gonna talk about Nico. I believe it's Echavarria, but I could be completely wrong on how to pronounce that last name.
I think it's Echavarria.
Sure. I am looking at his career, and he's won 2 other times, but surprisingly this season, out of the 6 tournaments he's played in, he's been cut 4 times, and his other one was a T8 at the Pro-Am. So talk about you're either in contention or you're not playing the weekend.
Feast or famine. There you go. Good for him. He hung around. And that's just sometimes that's what happens, you know? You let Shane Lowry just poop all over himself.
I mean, it looks really bad for the Cognizant. And that article that we were sitting around, I don't know if Eric, did you get a chance to read through it?
A little bit, yeah. I skimmed most of it.
Just basically, the long and short of it is My Golf Spy put out an article talking about their quote unquote insider info, and the journalists that have talked to some of the players and some of the back office folks are saying basically by 2028 the tour schedule could end up going from a 33 event schedule down to a 23 event schedule. So cutting 33% of all of the events in the field. Now, I was talking to my pops about this yesterday, and he made a good point that Cognizant does have its ties to Jack, so it may still have a chance to stick around, but you got to get a stronger field out there. I mean, this field has been plagued by a weak field for the past, I feel like, 3 to 5 years. They've seen weak fields coming out there. So how do you do that? Well, if it makes the cut down to this 23 field event, and you give the players buys after major events, right? And you're not competing with the Super Bowl anymore, and you move some of the events around to be, quote, optimally in their optimal window of golf time, and you move to some of the bigger cities, you know, that doesn't leave a lot of room for other events. But I don't know, just poor showing on the Cognizant part, not on the Cognizant, but that's not on the Cognizant, but it's just the players that were there. We've talked about this in the past. I'd rather see some of the biggest names in the field just absolutely dominate an event, but that's just me.
Well, I think it goes back to, John, you said this in our group text when we were talking about it over the weekend, of if they're going to go down to this kind of schedule with the buys after the majors and make each PGA Tour event, you know, have the biggest names in golf, you said to put more money in the Corn Ferry Tour, because if they're going down to this limited schedule from what they have now, essentially, you're not going to have these secondary events like you have the Puerto Rico Open this weekend, secondary to the Arnold Palmer. And if you start getting all the big names in these fields, are they still going to have a full field of 144 players? Or are they going to keep it at this signature event style and have 80 to 100? Then those guys that are in like the 100 area of the world golf rankings, they don't really get their chance to play unless they somehow make it on. So I think your point of injecting a bunch of money into Corn Ferry to make it more feasible and an actual path to get to the tour makes the most sense.
Yeah. I mean, it's just the way they have it now. I think the winners get literally like 10% of what the PGA Tour is getting. I mean, I also want to give, speaking of Corn Ferry, guy who won this weekend, Alistair Doherty. I've been following him for several years now. He's a Barstool golfer. Good friends with Riggs. And he's been on the cusp of winning on the Corn Ferry. I think he went to Q school. He missed getting his card by a stroke last year. So he's just had agonizingly close against PGA Tour card. He got in a bad car wreck last year. I mean, he's just had an insane last 2 years. But he won the Argentina Open this weekend for the Corn Ferry. So I think he's number 2 on the money list. But it's gotten more competitive too with these. They're shrinking the tour a little bit now. Like Adam Hadwin, who's won the tour a couple times now. He's back on the Corn Ferry. I saw him on the list. He's 8th, I think, on the money list. Harry Higgs has been down there a bunch. So there's a lot of good talent that has won on the PGA Tour or have come close to winning on the PGA Tour, down on that tour. And they don't have to, money is a relative term with the PGA Tour, right? Like adding another $1 million to this purse would go an insane way, right? Giving the winner like $500,000 instead of 180, tripling the winner's purse. That's going to entice a lot more people to play too, like on off weeks, especially ones that, aren't in the signature ones and there's not a secondary event to go down and play. And that raises the level and the competition of that tour too, right? If you get, the 8th best player on the PGA Tour who's not in the top 75 or 80 or whatever the cutoff is for a signature event, they can go down and play that event. And maybe you get like another 10 or 15 guys who want to have a chance to win, make some money, and then get some world ranking points. I think you got to feed into your developmental tours, right? And like this is it for the PGA Tour, right? Like I think they've done a really good job with linking that the PGA U with colleges and universities, getting them onto the Corn Ferry, that like direct path, getting your Corn Ferry card. They've just got to inject more of like a path for the Corn Ferry guys onto the PGA and more money. And just make it better. They're putting good things in motion. They got to keep the momentum there, in my opinion.
Do you think that's the plan of the new CEO to kind of inject some more money into the Corn Ferry, or do you think he's going to, I guess, push it off to the side and focus mainly on the PGA Tour?
I think it's all PGA. He's not looking at other tours right now. I think that with the state of affairs right now, there's so much change from a digital ecosystem perspective that has to be incorporated into this next chunk of contracts that are coming up, just with television companies and some of the bigger names like Netflix, like Full Swing's a great example of that, right? You need to make a big splash. And the new director's coming in. He's looking to make a name for himself, make an impression. And I think this is how he does it. Shake up the schedule, shake up the purses. Maybe you throw a bone to the Corn Ferry Tour. And to your point, John, I agree. Those are the quote unquote working class of professional golf. And if you can get them up there, I see it as I hope at some point we can get to parity of like how hockey is. How the NHL is, where you can see like players go back and forth between that next level down and back onto a team, right? Like that to me on that lower level, I think that's the right way to do it. And yeah, somebody like Adam Hadwin, man, I got so many great memories. I used to bet on him all the fucking time on the PGA Tour. He was a great bet on short tracks with tough greens. He had great short game, just had a tough time keeping the ball in play off the tee. But yeah, I'd love to see it.
Did you just take that from Liv a little bit? This whole the relegating, like moving them back and forth between PGA Tour and Korn Ferry Tour?
No, relegation's a little more like MLS or soccer. NHL to me is like there's one guy that doesn't have it this week, right? Or like he gets injured, right? And one of the other guys from Korn Ferry gets to come up, right? So
I see what you're saying.
you know what I mean? Like if there's a spot open, one of those Korn Ferry guys should have that opportunity.
I think my issue, I think you're right. I think the new CEO is definitely pushing PGA Tour, focusing on that with, this talk of a new schedule and whatever else he may show us in, I guess, this season, next season. My issue is, and it's something that you brought up, Ian, of you always want to see the big names playing every week, competing every week. Do you think, though, if it starts moving in that direction, that eventually we're going to get to a point where who's next in line and no one's going to know, and then the ratings just kind of fall off because you don't have that next group of professionals coming up into the ranks?
Would say that if they kept the same amount of events, but I don't think so. I just don't think it's sustainable. Number one, you can see it from the television ratings itself. The Cognizant, just not great. Not great from a ratings perspective. And if you can reduce the amount of events, this is more similar to a live style that they've already adopted, but it is what it is. If you can reduce the amount of events that each tour player is playing, they then are most likely more willing to go do more press on their off weeks, so that they can build a name for themselves and they can build a bigger brand for themselves, right? Allow them a little bit of family time, which makes that next tournament mean that much more. And if those guys are out there grinding harder than they are today because they're not as tired throughout the season, to me that makes it a better event. It does. I'd rather see the players at 100% than 80% every week, and only the guys at the tip top who can take a week off before a major get the opportunity to do that. I'd rather see everybody have the opportunity to have the same amount of time in between tournaments, including right after a major. Have that time off to where you don't have to rush off and travel halfway across the fucking country just to go play in a tournament.
John, thoughts?
You nailed it. Yeah, no, and we're talking about like the next generation of golfers coming up and coming through, and I think this kind of goes back to a little bit of my point about the Korn Ferry and giving them a little bit more juice. They got a lot of good players down there too. I mean, if you see the scores from these tournaments, they want them to go really, really, really low, 20 under or better every week, basically, to even get a chance at winning. So these guys, they're right there. As far as being just as good as these PGA Tour guys, giving them a little bit more publicity, especially the ones that are doing well and maybe on the tour next year in a matter of months, getting golf fans acquainted with who they are and a little bit of background. Like this weekend, for instance, I'm not looking around like, who's Smotherman? Like, I don't know who that guy is. I know it's tough. It's tough to keep up with the 100+ guys on tour, but I've at least heard of most, probably 90+% of these guys. I am. So do better, PGA. You got the money to do it. Let's give these Korn Ferry guys some love.
Yeah, I think for me, it also goes back to, we talked about this a lot last season too, of like, is Scottie getting to that tier of Tiger Woods era stuff? Is he starting to create like the Scottie era? And I think a little before Scottie kind of came on scene and started dominating, which is something we've talked about before, is like golf was missing that, either that guy that everyone was trying to chase and beat, or that like duel. I always go back to like the duels of Tiger and Phil, or you can throw, Duval in there. We don't necessarily have that right now. And I don't think we've had that for a long time. You could make the argument of Scottie and Rory a little bit, but I think my issue would be if they start pushing too much towards a tour of the top guys right now, we're going to get into that realm again of you don't have that duel or that top guy that everyone's trying to chase. So I don't disagree with seeing the top players in the world playing every week or every other week, whatever this schedule looks like in the future. But there's something just that I think we need to keep focus on that next group of guys coming through. So I also, my next thought was going to be, what does that do to the FedEx? Do they still have the FedEx Cup if they're going to a 23 field with 4 of those being majors? And
they would, for sure.
Yeah.
You push different events to the end of the year. Like the Genesis was a big one to push. In the article, they talked a lot about the Genesis not being the beginning of the year, being closer to the end of the year, just because of the season is better in August for them to play tournaments over in LA, and you could almost make like a kind of like a Western-ish swing for the playoff events at the end of the year.
Yeah, you're right.
Waste.
Let's have some bodies hit the floor.
Seriously, why not? Like seriously, why not? Why not?
Yeah, it turns out
I'd be in favor of that.
Yeah, waste management, Navy SEAL. I mean, just imagine some of those caddies carrying a bag for 4 hours in that heat
for 4 days straight. No, thank you.
Yeah,
absolutely not. All right, moving on. Third signature event of the year, Arnold Palmer. Again, we'll see the top players in the world, like we were just kind of alluding to. Do we have any favorites that kind of are jumping out to you guys this week,
other than the obvious?
Scottie, I was telling before you games, Scottie's plus 300. Yeah, I know. Limited field.
I mean, Lowry made the comment that Scottie doesn't play too often in Florida for whatever reason, so we'll see how true that.
He's won the Arnold twice, so it's like and the players now, so it's just like he's done okay in Florida, the big events. Yeah, this isn't in. I mean, you've been to the course and the tournament, so you have a little bit better insight into where they're playing. Never been. What are we doing here?
Unbelievable.
Why are we going this week?
I might be going on Friday.
There we go. Okay.
Sit tight. We're
all right.
Trying to get out there for a few hours. I gotta convince the wifey to head over, so I'm trying to finagle my way into some free tickets for the week.
You just not too long ago, Eric and I listened to you badger Shane Lowry's wife and give him all a bunch of advice. So apparently you're the marriage whisperer or whatever. So go ahead and let.
What advice would you give to yourself in this scenario?
To give to your wife to get you to go on Friday.
Free tickets. It's pretty simple. Free tickets go a long way in this household.
Okay. All right. Well, then get working on that We need some content. We can't have me shanking drives in the woods all the time as our content. So as good as that is, and relatable, we got to get someone on the boots on the ground for a signature event. Oh,
how far away is it from you?
15.
Just go.
Dude,
you don't need tickets. Just go.
It's literally in my backyard. Like I could in theory fly a drone to over Bay Hill.
You could do that.
But I'd get in a lot of trouble if I did that, but I could do that.
Any press is good press for the pod.
Yeah.
Well, we're not getting that footage if I get arrested.
No, the drone would get arrested. You'd be fine. Yeah, just arrest the drone. You'd be fine.
Sorry, man. I don't know. That drone just went off by itself. I didn't.
I'm over here watching my kid. I don't know what happened.
Yeah.
I'm watching the tournament. And now I'm watching my drone over the tournament.
Yeah. God. No, but I'm going to try to go for at least a few hours on.
Dope. Very good. I'm looking at past scores because I feel like this tournament it's never like insanely low final scores. Like Scottie won,
and it's been very dry, very very dry here in Orlando for the past few weeks. Like we're in a little bit of a drought right now.
Good. I feel like that course is always super windy too. Always windy.
Yep. It's very exposed. There's just not a lot of big trees. Yeah. And the houses are a little bit more spread out. So, yep.
Yeah, I looked at the last 5 years. I looked at this final scores, and Scottie 2 years ago was 15 under. Last year was 12 under or 11 under. All the way back in 2022, Scottie won. It was 5 under was the winning score. 2022. So it's always between the last 5 years, been between 5 under and 15 the winning score. So it's a pretty tough course.
Wow.
You're not going to go crazy low over 4 days.
Nope. And you got to be a good putter, and you got to be a really good. You don't have to be a long driver of the golf ball, but you have to be. It's got to be straight. Has to be straight.
Yeah. That's why what's his name? Kurt Kitayama won 2 years ago. Not very long. Russell Henley won last year. Two guys who, aren't household names for being long off the tee. So think about that for your bets, everyone.
Well, speaking of, John, you want to lead us off here?
All right, you guys, I don't normally do this. I don't usually put my pick up for discussion. But I'm between two people.
Shit.
Matthew Fitzpatrick or Shane Lowry. Shane Lowry being this is a redemption track this week. Like, is he going to just put yesterday behind him, play well this week? He finished top 10 the last 2 years. 2 years ago, I think he was top 5. Last year, I think he was T9, something like that. So he's played well there recently. Overall, he played well this weekend. Last Sunday, last however many holes doomed him, but overall, he had a good weekend. Maybe he brings his daughter back for this one and he wants to try and win, for her there. That's what I'm thinking. Then Matt Fitzpatrick, he's been playing well pretty well this year. So I'm leaving the floor open for a little bit of discussion here if we want, or I'll flip a coin that I don't have.
I was looking at Matty Fitz for my pick this week, if that means anything.
Okay, I'll take Shane Lowry then.
Like the idea. He does seem like a guy who needs a little bit of a smack in the ass every now and then. Just like, get back out there, kid. Come on, get out there. So I think Lowry could be Lowry's week. Not to win, but to go.
No,
he's got to go.
He's going to win.
Drop a couple points.
Yeah, good. He's going to win.
All right, so you're going with
Lowry.
Going with Shane?
Lowry. Yeah, Lowry. Book it. Type it in.
All right, it's in. Ian.
I want to see a win, and I don't care how much shit I'm going to get it with for this. I'm going with Scottie. I'm going with Scottie. I'm not going to be the guy that loses his bet this week. I'm not going to be that guy. I'm just not going to be. I'm not that guy. I'm not that fucking guy this week.
What is his? What's his T20 like? Minus 450 or something like that.
650.
Oh my God.
Well,
we're gonna put $10 to win like 20.
No, we still won't hit. All right. Anyway,
so fuck off, John. Fuck off. Fuck off.
Well,
we need positivity here. Positivity.
Okay. Do I go to try to increase these odds a little bit, or do I take Ian's cop out and just throw someone in here that's use a putter and get top 20?
What who'd you have? Matty Fitz was gonna be your pick.
I was thinking about Matty Fitz. Ben Griffin also popped in my head. He's been decently solid. There was one guy, he is way at the bottom of the list, but I think this year is his redemption year, and I think he's hungry for it. We've picked him before this season. Joel Donnan.
That's not a bad pick, but it's a bad pick here. It's a bad pick at Bay Hill. It's just it's not an overall bad pick, Eric, but it's a bad pick for Bay Hill out of all the places.
I will tell you this, if this influences anything, with Joel in there, we're at 12-1 odds, even picking Scottie.
We're done. We're done here.
Is that a good done or a bad done?
No, that's a bad done. That means we just jumped.
Yeah.
So much by adding, like, Vegas agrees with us drastically. Like, in a way I don't like.
I'm scarred from his last exemption. I mean, I think he played his way into this week, but the Waste.
He did.
It's his hometown court. I mean, this is a tougher course. This is a way tougher course than the Waste.
If I put in Matty Fitz, $10 to win 48, basically 4-1.
I'm okay with that.
It's a signature event. Yeah, I'm okay with that just because, it's signature, and we would have to do something dumb like your last idea about putting Joel in there to get.
Can't wait till Joel wins this.
He's not going to win it, buddy. Tell you now. He's not going to win it.
What if this is the week that Scottie just absolutely keeps his Thursday rounds going into Friday and Saturday?
Oh boy,
that would
had to say that.
I had to say it.
You could say it, but it's not going to happen.
Are you going to be shitting yourself in if he shoots like a 78 on Thursday?
100%. Like, I'd be lying if I'm now not a little concerned about it, but I don't think it's going to happen.
You would also follow that up with, well, we should double down on him being top 20.
Yes, I would. I definitely would. Because when is he not? Literally,
Fair.
When was the last time he did?
I actually don't know. The last time he didn't finish in the top 20. Let's see. He was 12th, 4th, 3rd, 1st this year. Had to have been last year at some point, right? Early in the year. Phoenix Open last year.
Damn.
Wow.
He finished T20 at the Players last year, but he was T25 at the Phoenix Open last year. That was his worst finish last year.
Just roll over, start every year, put $100 on him to finish top 20 and just keep rolling it over.
Seriously.
That's your 401k. Yeah. S&P.
That's wild. I didn't even comprehend it, really.
This is it. 10-48. We'll take it.
It is. Well, I'm not locking it in yet. Waiting for my wonderful boost from DraftKings before I get that in.
10-52. Okay. Got it.
Here we go.
Damon, man.
Still talking about that.
He's thinking about it now.
It's a horrible pick for Bay Hill. It's just such a bad pick for Bay Hill. What part? I'm sorry. Just what part of Joel Davis' game do you feel like is really matching up well with the sheer just punch you in the fucking face course that is Bay Hill?
I am more playing the guy that wants to continue his good play this season.
Hasn't been that good though.
Been good enough to play his way.
Relative to past seasons, he has. I gotta go against you on that one, John. But you're right. It's just not. It's not that good. It's not that good.
See what FanDuel has.
He's tough. This is a tough course.
This is a really tough course.
This is the toughest course on the floor to swing, I think.
Yeah. There's a reason why they that the My Golf Spy had it listed as one of the only stops that would stick around. Like it's gonna be Doral, Bay Hill, and the Players. That was the Florida swing that would stick around. So it means a lot. Yeah.
Why Doral though?
I don't know. Make America great, you know?
We
talked about this last time.
Yeah. And they want, as they said, they want tournaments in massive markets. So they want to keep it.
And they don't have one today. What was it? They need one in DC. They don't have one in New York.
Philly, Boston,
they don't have one in Chicago. Philly, Boston.
So top five, five huge markets, they don't have them. Yeah.
Literally the largest markets have zero tournaments.
Which they used to. I mean, they used to have the Rocket Mortgage at John Deere. Rocket Mortgage is a congressional. It used to be a congressional outside DC, and then it was at TPC. What's the TPC course right next to congressional? Potomac. That one they did there for a few years, and then Boston had the Deutsche Bank, which is at TPC Boston for a long time, and then New York had Northern Trust was at Liberty National, whatever, Jersey City, so right across the way from the city. But Chicago had the BMW Championship for a while, in Olympic Field, so I want to say. And Philly randomly would have. Tiger had his tournament there a couple times, or they had the ET&T back in the day because Anthony Kim won it one year, 2012 maybe. I forget what course it was at, but so there's chances to have it there, but they just haven't fucking done it.
Interesting.
Because Congressional's getting the 2030 PGA, I think, maybe US Open, one of the two.
Yeah, that's right around the corner, John.
Yeah, it'll be here before you know it, man.
True.
Don't talk like that. I can't think about how old our kids are going to be at that point. Man, I feel like an old fart.
You are.
Cam will be taller than me. So hopefully.
Eric, will you have more money in your account than the age of your child by then?
Than the age of my child?
By 2030.
By 2030? I mean, yeah, McKenna will be 7.
So let me rephrase. By the year 2030, will you have more money than the year 2030? $2,030 in your betting account.
Oh, betting account.
No. And I'll tell you why. Because I never want more than 1,000 in my betting account. So if I ever have more than that in there, I would take it out.
It's a slush fund. Okay, see so look at this. Now he knows limits. Now he knows when to pull out and cash out.
Now he knows limits. Yeah. So you can pull cash after you've won the jackpot.
After my bet has hit, not cashed out.
If a gambling counselor came in and met with you, they would quit on the spot. They'd be like, I can't fix him. Eric's like, this is my
this guy.
Eric's like, this is my Mona Lisa. I'm done. I got someone to quit.
It's incredible. Love you, bud. It's
wonderful. Okay.
Every time you send a bet, every 30 minutes or after every game, I'm just gonna ask cash out, or I'm just gonna question mark it and be like,
did you cash out? Yeah.
If you have like an 8 or 9 legger,
I will commit to telling you what my cash out. I will commit to telling you guys what my cash out would be, what my number would be.
Or maybe when you send a ticket,
we'll start there. We'll see how true I am.
When you send a ticket, if it's 5 to win $498, and you're like, if it gets to 200, I'll cash out. Fine. So that's your game plan. I think you're an idiot still, but that's your game plan.
Hey, this is America. You can think whatever you want.
Ain't that the truth?
This is therapeutic.
It sure was. I really appreciate it, guys.
Yeah. We do it because we care. All right.
That's right. That's right. If we didn't care, you wouldn't hear
wouldn't.
any of this.
Exactly.
All right.
Well,
Place your bets.
Again, thanks for hanging out with the tribe. If you enjoyed the show, make sure to go subscribe and share it with your favorite FSU foursome. Until next time, keep it in the short grass, keep the drinks cold, and as always, go Noles.
Go Noles.